I hope so. I think that's the hope, right? I think the whole point why everyone wanted Vladdy to do it was to remember how to hit homers.
Yeah,
right? And you can see a lot.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 450 Dead Center channel. Chris here with Daniel, and we're talking about the Blue Jays in the second half because we're gonna win the division. It's gonna happen. We gained a lot of ground in the last week or so, except we got no hit. That kind of sucked. But other than that,
I was gonna say you better mention that. But there's a lot that can happen in the second round.
yes,
The second half of the season, I should say, Chris.
Yeah. So let's start off. You know, Vladdy just won the home run derby.
Yeah.
Is he gonna hit a bunch of dingers now?
I hope so. I think that's the hope, right? I think the whole point why everyone wanted Vladdy to do it was to remember how to hit homers.
Yeah,
right?
I
And
mean,
you can
he
see
hit
a
a lot
little
of
bit in
them.
the swing too. He did hit a lot. I think I saw 75 was the number he hit.
Yeah, something like that. He didn't break his
something like that.
91 record, but
No.
you know, whatever. He won this
Whatever.
time.
Yeah, that's all that matters. But yeah,
Exactly.
you could see a little bit in his swing during the derby that he was trying to remember how to hit homers. You know what I mean? Like,
I was watching it. I'm like, damn, he's hitting some absolute piss missile line
Oh
drives,
my
and
God.
he took out a kid in the last
Took the
round.
kid out?
That was
my
just
God.
that poor kid. I saw a picture after. He like bandaged his whole head. Oh God.
I mean, kid, you had a glove. Use your glove.
Yeah, bro,
Like,
like-
I don't feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for him.
Why do they
Use your
put
glove.
kids? I get putting kids out there, but like that poor guy just got destroyed.
Honestly, poor kid.
I think he's okay though, so we can
He's
can
probably
laugh.
fine. Vladdy probably gave him like an autographed ball or something.
Yeah, and maybe
Yeah,
he got like
anyhow.
front row tickets to the All-Star game tonight or
Yeah,
stuff like that.
he probably got helped out. Anyhow.
Yeah.
I think Vladdy's gonna hit some shots. We could see Vladdy go on a insane pace.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, that's like the hope. And he's gonna have to do if the Jays are gonna want to make a solid playoff push, which follows me to this follow-up question here, Chris. What do you think the AL East is gonna look like by the end of the year?
So call me crazy here. We're what 7 games behind the Rays right now, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
Before the week, we were 11 games back, and I'm like, oh, season's over and all that stuff. We're 7 games back now, and that was 1 week. We gained 4 games. Quick maths right there. If we have like 1 or 2 more weeks just like that, that's what 4 games back, 3 games back. Give it back to 2
Something
games
like that,
back.
yeah.
Rays are not playing good baseball right now. I mean, the Orioles are okay. They're losing games too, but it's really the Rays bats that have cooled off, and the Orioles pitching sucks now, which makes sense because their pitching actually sucks, and they're not as good as they really were. And the Rays bats, not everything's just squeaking over the fence. And don't even get me started on the Yankees too, because without Aaron Judge, they're terrible. They're so bad. Like I get Judge is like obviously one of the best, if not the best player in the league.
He
besides
really
Ohtani.
carries that team. Like,
Holy cow!
I was saying to someone who I know is the Yankees
It's
fan.
brutal.
Yeah.
Is it
Like when
AU?
Judge is in that lineup, Yankees are arguably one of the best teams in the league.
Yep, 100%.
Just because of how much of an impact Judge makes. He's not in there. Yankees are older. They have a very aging roster.
They are old. They're like grandpas, man.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. I mean, Donaldson does not look the same there. Stanton does not look the same.
See, at least when
even-
Donaldson gets a hit, it's a home run. But like,
Even Rizzo doesn't look the same.
he's killing my
anymore.
fantasy team, man.
I know.
What's he doing?
I know, man.
Like your average is like under 100, dude. Without Judge in the lineup, you'd have like 1 home run. Like, what are you doing? I benched him. He's gonna be benched until Judge comes back.
Yeah, exactly. I think the. Oh, sorry for that. I think the Yankees there are really struggling without Judge. I think
Yeah.
he's not. He's such a centerpiece of that team.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the Red Sox, who we all predicted to be last anyway, and I think they're gonna stay last. Their batting's okay. Pitching is just terrible. But
With that being said, I think the way I see the AL East ending up, Chris, I know originally I had at the start of the season, I had 4 AL East teams making the playoffs.
right.
And that could very well happen. Judge could come back, right? It could very well happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I still see the Rays winning the division just because,
That's fair.
if I'm not mistaken, I believe they have the easiest schedule out of
Still?
the 5 of them left. I think they have the easiest schedule.
Of course they
yeah.
do. Of course. I mean, I'm sure the Jays have the hardest somehow.
I think we closely do, but I see the Rays making it. I see the Orioles in the wild card. I see the Jays in the wild card. And then I see the Yankees missing out.
Yeah, I hope they miss out. But hear me out. This is how I see it. Call me crazy, but I hear the Jays winning the division.
I mean, I will call you crazy because we are 7 games back.
We are
but
7 games back, but we were 11 games back like a week ago. We gained 4 games in
that
a
is true.
week. Like, yeah, we played the White Sox and the Tigers, and we got no hit, but we still gained
You
four
know what?
games.
Anything can happen. You get hot at the right time. You just got to get into the playoffs. Let's be real.
Exactly, and honestly, number one, and I think it's number two wild card spots. I don't want one of those ones because those are clearly going to be like Rays versus Orioles or Rays v Jays, Orioles v Jays. If I'm making the playoffs, I either want to win the division or be the third wild card spot so I can play the AL Central team.
That is fair. That is fair. With that being said, Chris, I mean, so if, I think we're kind of in the consensus that Rays, Orioles, Jays are all going to make the playoffs. So in some way, shape, or form,
I see
all
it.
three of them are making the playoffs.
But a big factor to us winning the division, I was going to get to this, is
Yeah, go
Manoah.
ahead.
Alec Manoah. Is he back, Daniel? He pitched great against the Tigers. I know that it's the Tigers, but he pitched against them, and it was good.
Sure, I hope so.
It was good.
Like, all I can say is I hope so. You know what I mean? It's a Tigers. I can't take too much out of it.
Right. No, you
Um,
can't. You can't take too much out of it. But on that note, you also can take a lot out of it because he was terrible. And he got his what, second quality start of the year on
Yeah,
Friday?
something like that. Something
So-
like that. He threw what, 6 innings, something like that.
Yeah,
Innings,
something like
2
that.
earned?
I expected him to absolutely poop the bed, and he was amazing. So thank you, Manoah, for coming back. We got Ryu coming back. He's dicing right now in the Complex League, which Manoah struggled in. Chad Green's
And
going to be coming back.
I still think they're gonna go get a starting pitcher.
If anything, they'll get a depth guy, I think, now.
There's one pitcher I think they're gonna go get, and we'll talk about it in a separate video because the trade deadline's coming up, and that's
Yep.
one of our favorite times to make
I love
videos.
the trade deadline.
There's so many rumors going around, but there's one guy I think they could definitely get, and I mean, if you add anyone to that rotation with a Manoah who's good, a Gosman who's good, a Bass who could figure out, and a Barrios and Kikuchi, that's a solid 5.
No,
Right?
100%.
So
Oh, man, what a
there's
growth.
a lot that could happen.
Yeah. So another big aspect to the Jays' success in the second half of the season will be Vladdy and the offense. Will Varsho pick it up? Will Kirk pick it up? We don't know, but what do you think?
I would love to see Kirk pick it up because he's on my fantasy team, but
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah, that'd be awesome for him. But
Yeah, I have Varsho on mine.
I think they're. I think overall, when we look at this offense, when you look at the actual numbers, it's not as bad as you think.
It's not.
Like it's not as overall. It's not as bad as you think. I can't remember the stats off the top of my head, but they were top 10 in average, top 10 in slugging, top 10 in this, top 10 in this. Real problem was when there was runners on base.
Yeah, that's when we're like
They were
last.
like bottom 5 of the league in that, bottom 10 in this, right?
It
So
happens.
that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
Are they going to start hitting with runners in scoring position? I think so. I think that's where the real turnaround is now. And the pitchers are just going to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and this is also the record we have going into the All-Star break this year is the best record we've had going into it since 2016, which I mean, we won the wild card that year. We beat the Orioles.
We beat the
which was cool.
Orioles.
Yeah, so we tend to be a more of a second half team. Last year, 2021, we were way better in the post All-Star game part of the season than we were before. So I think history will repeat itself, and I think we will be good in the second half again. It once again, it said it depends. Will Manoah pitch good? Will Ryu come back and be like serviceable? Honestly, I could see Manoah and Ryu doing like split games, 4 innings each. That'd be cool. But yeah, I think we'll be fine.
I was going to say, before we wrap this up, I do want to get a final prediction of the league in terms of standings.
In the AL,
So-
you mean?
We can do AL and NL quickly. I'll give you mine quickly. I think the Rays, Orioles, and Jays all make it
Mm-hmm.
in some way, shape, or form. I think the Guardians win the Central.
Ooh, bold. Nice.
Unfortunately, they had such a bad start, but I'm looking at them here.
Oh, yeah,
they're
they're
500
leading.
right now, and they're in first, and they're on a winning streak. So
Mm-hmm.
that's also good. And then I think the Rangers. I think the Rangers choke their lead in the West. I think the Astros make it, and I
Yep.
think the Rangers fall to the wild card. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, I don't think the Angels make it.
No, they're under 500. Trout's injured.
Yeah.
Otani is somewhat
Bro, they're
hurt.
1-9 in their last 10. 1-9.
Ooh, yikes. Yeah, no, they're done.
That is awful.
They had a good first half. No, actually, no, I can't even say that anymore. They had a good first half minus the last 10 days. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's tough.
And I mean, NL wise, I mean,
Braves walk
like
it.
I don't think the Mets are going anywhere. I'm sorry to say that.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But the Braves, though, on the other hand, whew,
Yeah. I
They're
think
so good.
Braves win the East, Reds win the Central. I'm backing the D-backs to win the West.
they aren't in the lead anymore. I didn't notice that. That sucks. They're
They're
tied
like
with the
tied
Dodgers.
on. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm back in those three, and then I say it's gonna be like a Dodgers, Brewers, and I don't know, maybe the Marlins make it. Like,
I hope that'll be sick. Yeah,
it's gonna be
so
such a random West.
it's gonna be a random, yeah, like a
I
National League.
know.
But
Yeah.
my predictions here, I'm gonna go with the Jays for the division because I want a banner. Gonna go
Sounds good.
Rays first wild card. Actually, no. Orioles first wild card, Rays second wild card. I think the Rays are gonna fall off. Yankees miss. That's gonna be the most hype thing ever.
Yep.
The Guardians are gonna be winning the Central because the Twins they're bad. Like let's be honest, they suck. And I'm with you. I think Houston's gonna win the West just because that's what they do. Texas, what are they in their last 10? 3-7. Yeah, they stink. Texas is going to fall off. I think Simeon, your least favorite player, and Seager are going to fall off just slightly in the second half. Their pitching is also quite injured. If they had DeGrom, I think they'd win the division, but DeGrom's hurt.
Yeah, DeGrom is such a huge loss for them.
Yeah, I do. The Rays, not the Rays, sorry. The Rangers will get the either second, maybe probably third wild card spot. I'll give them that. So then it would be, yeah, that's okay there.
Yeah.
National League. Braves are walking it. It's quite obvious. Like they're 8.5 games ahead in
Yeah.
their division.
They're too good. They are too good right now.
Best team in the league. Best team in the league. I want to say Cincinnati, but it happens to every player who comes out guns a-blazing when they come to the major leagues. Besides Mike, even Mike Trout got sent down actually.
You think Ellie De La Cruz is gonna fall off just a little
Yeah,
bit?
the pitching's gonna figure him out, and he's gonna slump. And I think when he's slumping, their team's gonna suck. And I think the Brewers are gonna win the Central. But you never know. Cubbies could make a comeback, or my Pirates. I hope hope and pray for the Pirates. And the West.
8.5 back.
Yeah, the West. I think it's got to be the Dodgers. I hate to say it, but it's got to be the Dodgers. But then the wild card, I'm gonna go with the Diamondbacks, the Marlins. You know what? Screw it. And the Reds. We're putting the Reds in there. Screw it.
It's such a different. If you told me at the start of the league that the Mets would be fourth in the NL East, I would have thought you're crazy.
And
with
the
that payroll,
Padres are fourth in the
right?
West.
And the Marlins are second. Like that would have never
What?
viewed in my head. Last thing I want to end off in this video, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna have the worst record, Royals or A's?
Oh, it's got to be the A's.
Because if you look at them, literally they're one win away, like one win difference.
Has to be the Rays. But the thing is, Royals have some trade pieces. Oakland's got nothing.
Yeah.
True. They got nothing. I mean, they got Brent Rooker, but he's bad now. So, I mean, you guess you could trade Brent Rooker. Maybe they should have sold high on him and traded him in April or something. But I don't know. I mean, I gotta still go with Oakland because like they're really bad. But who knows?
I'll back you with Oakland. I mean, we're towards the second half of the season here. The most fun time. So many stuff's gonna go happen the next 2 weeks. Trade deadline's coming like crazy soon.
Yay.
And we could see Ohtani on the move, which could be sick. When that happens, you guys know where to find a video. We'll definitely make one. So if you guys liked it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Join us on the road to 1,000. What else do I gotta say, Chris?
See you guys next time.
Yeah, see you guys
Goodbye.
next time.